Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this press conference on the occasion of the opening of the exhibition Gottfried Lindauer's New Zealand, the Māori Portraits. We are extremely proud to have many guests here also from New Zealand accompanying these tremendously important paintings and also kind of manifestations of Māori culture. So I want to really welcome everyone here. You've come here to celebrate this opening here with us.
This is the fourth presentation of this project, which is a developing touring exhibition as well as a research project. It's been an enormous pleasure to be deeply involved and closely involved and very present for all of those four presentations. So we're thrilled to be able to be about to be heading off to San Francisco in this fourth. And in many ways, this fourth iteration is part of a flow and contributing another dimensionality. To be able to show this work in that context is very exciting for us in terms of a wider conversation about the contribution of Gottfried Lindauer, the experience of this artist and how he perceived the world.
This exhibition absolutely acknowledges Lindauer's skills and innovative approach as an artist, particularly with regards to photography. But our focus in this exhibition is just on the Māori portraits. Of course, he did paint his family members and he painted Pākehā, or European settlers, as well. But this really gives our visitors a unique opportunity to learn about Māori culture and fashion and the history of New Zealand, which of course is now considered very much a bicultural country.
For me, this is an exhibition that talks, on the one hand, of course, about Māori culture. It talks about the great art of Gottfried Lindauer, but it is also an exhibition that gives you an example of what painting is and can be. So it's not only something that you look at and something that you kind of perceive as a great artwork, but it is a conduit to the past and to the future. And it's something not only of symbolic meaning, but of very spiritual meaning that lives on in the ancestors, actually, of the Maoris being depicted.
The people in the portraits, as everyone has said, are the living embodiment of who we are. And so that we talk to them and they link us to the past, and our grandchildren are linked to them as well. So it's a future and the past coming together. And when we went to Pilsen and we went to Berlin, we changed the perception of how people saw painted portraits of people, of sitters, we shifted it to them looking at these as living people, as part of our ancestry, of part of our present.
I think this project's significant because it documents a moment in our history as a country, but also it documents a man's practice, art practice. And when we look at his art practice, he was very entrepreneurial, he was extremely innovative, and a lot of these elements of his practice haven't been widely shared, if you like, or understood until recently with the different shows that have occurred and the publications and research that's gone into his practice and his way of working.
Personally, I was just fascinated by it because it brings the past into the present, gives us a feeling for the character and the lives of the people, and so much that I didn't know. So it was also educational from that aspect of what their lives were like and their struggles were. So it was wonderful.
Oh, look, I just don't quite understand how a painter can make an emotion come out of someone's eyes and you can see through to their soul. And he painted off some little wee black and white photos in many cases. But every one of those plates in that room, if you stared into the face and the eyes, there were the little wrinkles in the eyelids. There was the detail that Lindauer achieved, not just in the reproduction of the painting, but the stunning representation of who the human being was. Just amazing. I actually got a bit teary watching some of it because it was so good.
It's something I'd certainly never seen before, and they were so beautifully done. The colors are outstanding in it, and the way he captured all of the expressions on people's faces, and you could really tell that there was a ton of history going on, and he captured it beautifully.
I was blown away. I wandered through it in the quiet opportunity before everybody else arrived, and reading up with the descriptions of the portraits next to them really blew me away. The quality was just like something I'd never seen. And to recognize that this gentleman did this largely from little black and white photographs was extraordinary. What I also found amazing is what was described to me as his ability to build relationships with, in particular, very senior Māori and senior Māori chiefs especially. And the ability for him to have them sit and not move, and pose and not move for extended periods of time showed you that he developed a relationship. He was a foreigner, and he developed a relationship painting pictures that were going to last in eternity. So people realized that this guy was good quality, they trusted him, and that came through for me massively. And it's something that I'll never forget.
These paintings are loved within New Zealand. I think that's important. And I think they're more loved now than perhaps they ever have been. In a way, his work was seen in a very popular dimension during his lifetime, and now they're understood in terms of the complexity of what they might mean and the insights that they give us. So I think he'd be quite proud of what's happening right now.